So we are live in my office. We're trying a new Wi-Fi extender, so hopefully the signal is okay. But this is my work desk, and it's a little messy right now. Maybe show them. I want you guys to see. So up here, actually, we have some animatronics that are in the show. We have an animatronic answering machine that does like a nice little jiggle motion. And then we have this, which is a robotic animatronic answering machine. And so this answering machine has left, right, it has up and down, and then it has its mouth open and close movement. But what we're going to look at today, maybe pull back a little bit, is this animatronic head, which I'm working on for my new show. And the new show is, let's see, I gotta find the 5 volt. The new show has this animatronic head that comes to life and starts talking, and he's kind of going to be a bit of like a mummy. So he's going to be like wrapped with bandages. So like you're just seeing like the underform that is going to hold everything in place. So what we're going to do today is just kind of a test of the movement. But anyways, this animatronic is also in the same show. There's lots of different animatronics. So right now just his eyes I finished building, but he's going to be getting eyebrows. So actually these are the servo motors that are going to be for his eyebrows. So you can kind of see how small they are. So those are actually going to mount right up above here, and those are going to give his eyebrows a dynamic up and down at kind of an angle so that he can have a lot of expression. We want him to get super angry at one point during the show, but he also has to be like really loving, and he also has to look like he's sad. So, and then his mouth, this is going to eventually get cut, and his mouth is going to also be fully articulated. So let's get him powered up. Hopefully he works. We'll see. This is a test, so no guarantees, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. Okay, so he has full eyelid opening and closing, and then he has eyes up, down, left, and right. And you can kind of see some of his servos that are driving the motors right now because he hasn't been finished yet. So when he's finished, like his eyelids will be covered with gauze. This will be all like mummified on the outside, and his mouth will also be articulated. But we're going for a very realistic look, whereas a lot of the other animatronics in the show are pretty cartoonish. So like if you compare him to like the talking answering machine, like the talking answering machine is like very kind of cartoony in comparison to the talking head. Let's see if I can play it again. There we go. There's much more lifelike movements. I'm gonna turn it to the side. You can see there's like a scissor mechanism here that creates his eyelids for the opening and closing of the eyelids. And then I actually have to widen his head structure, so I'm gonna probably hit this with some heat and just kind of expand it. A heat pew-pew, if you will. And then I'm gonna be able to pull this out because this is kind of like a vacuum form mold. But he's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with the way his movement is coming together. He's very, very lifelike. The other thing is he needs to be able to be serviced and maintained. So this is not going to be attached with screws. The top half of his head will actually be attached with Velcro, and the bottom half that will all be attached with screws. But he needs to be able to be serviced and maintained while he's traveling. So we have to be able to get inside of here easily, just in case anything gets loose or like if any motors need to be replaced. So you kind of never know what's gonna happen. But so this head actually starts in here, which is like a sword box. So like a head goes in there and you put swords through it, and we hear like a tapping in the show, and we don't know what it is. And we open this up, and inside we're gonna find Zephyro's head. And so when his head is finished, this is gonna have left-right articulation. He's gonna have up and down. He's going to have his eyebrows expressing, and then he's gonna have, of course, jaw expression as well. So he'll be a very animated, severed head. which will be really cool. So I'm super excited about the progress that has been made on him. I've been experimenting with these. These are just kind of cheap little motor assemblies from Amazon. They are digital servos, so they do suck a ton of power. They suck a little bit more than some of these circuit boards can deliver. These can drive digital servos, but I don't, even the small ones this one doesn't seems to struggle with, but these are like left, right, and then you have pan. So it's basically kind of a gimbal assembly essentially for a camera, but with something like this, you could mount his head on it, and he'd have a lot of movement. So these are pretty cool. These are on Amazon, like they're pretty cheap actually. And then I'm gonna plug this back in. I'm gonna play this. So here you can see down here are like just like rotating left and right servo platforms, which I love these. These are really cool. You can build these yourself, or you can buy them at different like servo suppliers, but they're kind of deep, so they set the servo down here, and then there's the shaft that drives it from down below, and it comes up, and that's what gives it the animation. This also needs to be serviced in the desert, like in Palm Springs, so actually like the way I built it is like just so simple. Like I can actually catch this, and you can see there's just a servo in there. So like if we had to swap that servo, it would be so easy because it's just right there. There's nothing complicated about it. Even like the way it goes up and down is just two servos in the back. So sometimes it's good just to keep things super simple. Then if they break or need any adjustments, it's just like really easy to do it. Sounds like one of the servos could be slipping, but I'm not sure. Might need some lubricant on the back of it. But that's normal for animatronics. So anyways, that's kind of the heads. I'm gonna unplug that. I'll show the head one last time. But hopefully everyone had a fun holiday weekend. But here's the animatronic head. So we went with much more of a lifelike look with this guy. So he is going to be a mummified head. So right now he's just kind of in his robotic state. I feel like he needs like Will Smith and like to be in a movie where he battles. But he'll actually end up looking like kind of like not he won't look robotic at all when he's done. He's just going to look like a mummified like head that you'd find like, I don't know, in Egypt or something maybe, that like jumps to life. I'm kind of thinking like Hocus Pocus, you know, like the mummy they pull out of the ground and like he coughs and like a bunch of like dust comes out of his mouth. I'm kind of thinking he'll have that sort of look to him. So it is cool though right now while he's clear, you can kind of like being able to like see all the mechanics and everything is actually pretty sick. But all right, well, I just wanted to jump on here and share with you what we have been up to. Been working really hard on this new live show, so I haven't been posting as frequently, but we're gonna be doing a lot more behind the scenes in the coming weeks of the show. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and drop a follow so that you guys can catch all the cool behind the scenes. There's lots of fun stuff in the making. Including like a lot of like props that end up looking really cool, but they're actually just like built out of trash. Like this is just an Amazon box, and then we end up putting like a short throw projector in this, and it becomes a like ghost scanning device, and it looks really cool. So I'll be showing this like on one of the lives later this week. And then this is actually the first eyeball assembly test. So this was the first test. So on live stream, I'm gonna just turn this into like a fun junk robot, just because I think it would be like a really fun little activity. And then actually back here you can see there's a plasma blaster prop that's being worked on, but part of it fell apart, so it needs a little repair, and then I'm gonna end up painting it so you can kind of see like that goes on it. But this is also all just made out of like recycling and junk and whatnot, so that'll look super cool. I'm gonna paint that on live stream. We'll probably start that this week actually, because we're now finally done with the audio stage of the new live show, so we'll be back to live streaming more often. Hi Hector, how are you? What's going on? Thank you so much to Hector, by the way, for being a channel like subscriber. You get the cool custom emojis, and I love the fizz emoji that you just dropped. Those are so cute. But anyways, here's the last look at him. I don't know how to get his eyelids perfectly synchronized. That is a little flaw of his, but I feel like it gives him a little bit of character. Like maybe he's just a little tipsy. I don't know, but I think it's kind of funny and endearing. It gives him a little pizzazz. So he looks really cool. I'm really happy with how he turned out. So anyways, I just wanted to jump on here and show you guys the new animatronics that are being worked on. And yeah, we're gonna say goodbye, but we got sandbags to make. But doing good. Missing Fizz and everyone. We miss you too, Hector. You're overdue for a trip, I know. But alrighty. Well, we'll say goodbye when Zafiro goes back to sleep. Let's see. There he goes. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a follow if you haven't yet. No, Hazy says, no way we got this before GTA 6. You got a spooky animatronic head. That's funny. I know. Does anyone know where GTA 6 is going to take place? Do you know, Sebastian?
Vice City.
Oh, it's in Vice City again? It's Miami Vice City? Oh, wait, I remember the trailer, because it has the shirtless dude running around. Okay, yeah. I didn't realize that's in Vice City. That's going to be so much fun. I mean, that's smart of them to go back to, like, the favorite city. So, okay, maybe we'll have to get a PlayStation just specifically so I can play that. Do you think they'll come to Nintendo Switch? No, right?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye. Sephiro's waving. Wait, bye. Hold on, let me make it like he's waving. Bye. I don't know how it would look. Okay, he doesn't have hands. Bye.